Hey, this is Pete from Abstract Ocean. Today we are installing PPF protective wraps for the door sills on Cybertruck. So they look like this. We've actually got them installed on this side already, but you probably can't even see them because they're made from Expel Stealth PPF. They match perfectly with this black paint. So the problem with this area is it's a single layer of paint. It's not, it's not the same as the outside of the car, right? Outside of a normal car. So it's pretty thin, it's vulnerable to getting scratched by pets, high heels, that sort of thing. So this kit just kind of ensures that this area stays pristine. So let's take a look at what's in the box. Okay, so as with most of our PPF kits now, we include a squeegee. In this case it's going to be the white one with one rigid side and one side covered in felt. You're mostly going to use the felt side when you're installing PPF. We include the soap solution, so this you just need to hydrate, just add water. And then the two sets of PPF wraps for left and right side. They're going to be marked with an L and an R in the PPF. The rears are the same, but the fronts are handed or reversed, so make sure you take notice of which side goes on which side. The only thing you need to provide is a rag just for clean up towards the end. Alright, with that, let's get started. So we're going to get started on the passenger side. Obviously the process for the drivers is the same, just in reverse. So as I mentioned, maybe you can see this on the camera, but we've just marked this piece with an R, just so we know that this is the right side for the right side of the car. So the first thing we're going to do is spray the area liberally with PPF. If it's not clean, be sure to clean it first. You can use just soap or even the actual slip solution is great. Just spray it on, wipe it off with a shop rag. You're good to go, but you do want this surface pretty clean because we're using the Expel Stealth PPF, which is like a satin finish. If you do have any dirt underneath it, then you'll see it in the form of a little air bubble, which we obviously want to avoid. So with that said, cover the area, and then we're going to grab the PPF. So peel back a little edge, wash your hands before starting this, and then just kind of go all the way down, spraying as you go. Spraying the PPF now just means that if it happens to kind of stick to itself or attach to itself, you can easily undo that situation. It's not a big disaster. So the way it goes on, it's kind of like an inverse T, so replacing it, sorry, wrong way around. So not an inverse T, it's a T, so just like that. So we have these two extended pieces that help protect the sort of rotation here on the body, and then we have this bit that kind of protects sort of the main sort of trip place. And we're just looking to let it lay down, kind of feeling along here with my fingertips. You sort of want it up against where the body rotates again. And if you have it right, then these sort of end strips lay down properly. And then eventually when we come to do this piece, it'll just sit at the bottom like that, and you can see it kind of just sort of takes its own shape. So we're going to start on the top. Once you're happy with the positioning, just squeegee left, squeegee right. Adjust that a little bit. You don't need any heat for this, you don't need any special skills. This is really quite an easy application. And then as we do this, we want to make sure that we're not trapping any fluid kind of on this turn. So just start up here and just bring it down like that and like that. Just keep going. Okay, we'll take care of that in a minute. Then just finish off that part of it. Grab your rag, dry it off. Okay, so the last piece is are these sort of turns here. So we've extended it a bit further than we ordinarily would, just so we're protecting this edge. But this is also where the PPF tends to not necessarily lie down very well when it's too wet. So we're going to work on this piece first. Just get to sit down. I'm going to squeegee out as best I can everything underneath there. And this is where, if for some reason it's not laying down, you can see that's basically done. If it's constantly lifting up, it's because you've got too much slip solution still underneath the PPF. So a couple of things you can do, you can just wait. Just leave the door open, wait, give it a couple of hours, come back, and you'll be good to go. It'll just lay straight back down. The PPF will be sticky again, basically. Or you can use a heat gun or a hairdryer. If it's a hairdryer, set it to a high heat. If it's a heat gun, low heat. And that'll just help evaporate the soap solution and also just make the PPF a bit more flexible and easier to rotate into position. But as you can see, this is good, so just work that out a bit more. When you're looking at the surface of the PPF, if you see any, the slip solution is easy to see because it's probably going to be bubbles, but if you've got a large amount of it trapped underneath there, it looks more just like a bump, a bigger bump or blemish on the film. The film is perfect, so just work those out as well. This is the time to do it. You really can't come back and do this tomorrow unless you're very lucky and it's very close to the edge. If you have some in the middle of the film, then you're basically done at that point. The only thing you can do is either replace it, or you can also get a small needle, like a diabetes needle or a zip popper, very small things, and you can just release it that way as well. And you can Google that on or look on YouTube for that sort of help if you need it. Okay, this end is done, looking good. We're going to come up with this end. Hey goose. And you can see this is really just a fingertips operation at this point. And there you go. So there's one more piece I wanted you to note. So on both doors, there's this weld line on the frame. So this is always going to stand up at this stage. And at the end of this video, I'm going to come back tomorrow and just show you how to work this out so it's completely flush all the way around. But if you do see a gap around here, and I'm sure it varies by truck, don't worry at all, because we'll get that out tomorrow and it's definitely not an issue. If you see anything kind of off to the side of it, then let's fix that right now, but otherwise this will all get worked out tomorrow. Just look down here as well. Again, if any of the edges tend to be lifting, don't worry at all, just come back when things are dried off and they'll just sit right back down. There you go. Let's go on to the back door. Onto the rear passenger then. So you'll see, so these are the same on each side, so you don't have to worry about which piece you have, but same process. I'll go through this a little bit quicker because you don't need to hear the same stories again. While I'm doing this, I'll just mention that we use Expel PPF. In this case, it's their Stealth product, which is the satin finish. We also use it on the B-pillars. I'll flash up a picture of the B-pillars as well. It looks fantastic. It's an amazing product. Aside from all the usual PPF properties, self-healing, it does a fantastic job at hiding fingerprints, which on the B-pillar can get pretty annoying. But in addition to that, it's made in Texas, in San Antonio. We are in Texas, in mid-cities in DFW. So this is a completely Texas made or manufactured and designed product, which is pretty cool. And we're putting in a Cybertruck, which was made in Austin. Okay, so we're just going to lay this down again. If you remember, same as before, so fingertips just to kind of get it sitting just before the body rotates back up behind this weather seal. Okay, don't be stretching it or anything, it should just lay down nicely, and when it does, you won't have too many, you won't have any sort of big ripples or waves, you'll just have these little air bubbles that we need to work out. Okay, I guess, oh there it is. Here's my squeegee. So again, using the soft side, it doesn't matter so much. With the satin, you can use the rigid side as well. The reason I use the soft side is it tends to drag the PPF around a little bit when it's got the slip solution underneath it, so just to save your frustration, it's easier to use the felted side. Okay, and as again, we're just going to kind of work this down like that. Dog hairs everywhere. All right, then we're just going to again sort of rotate these ends, more using hands more than the squeegee, but a combination of both. Look how well that lays down, really nice. And same at this end. Grab the rag, clean up the area. And there you go, that's how easy it is. I don't know how long that took, but maybe 2 minutes. So I've been doing a lot of these lately, so you'll take a little bit longer, but it's not something you need to rush at all, but super easy to do and really offers that sort of peace of mind protection for this area. Okay, what I'm going to do now is let this sit for a day, then we're going to come back, we're just going to look at these seams real quick, and then we're done. Okay, just before we finish up, I just wanted to show you this. So this is the next day now, and you can see that on both sides, on the front and rear doors, there's a seam here, which the PPF sometimes struggles to adhere to when you're applying it, but it's super easy. So once it's been allowed to dry overnight, just kind of run your finger down the seam towards the edge so that any fluid can be released out of the bottom, and then same up here, just push it along towards the top, and that will make sure that the PPF is sitting flush, even though that seam is kind of messy. And then just showing you the same on the front one. So same thing, you can see we've got pretty good sort of bubble there, but just use your finger just to work that out, and then it looks really good. All right, thanks for watching.